when I was younger, Tupac, like he was probably my main influence.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
Fuck, he made me bad as fuck. Like, I hit one guy from, like he went to jump in from behind and I hit him. That's it. But no one really seen me.
So
hit
you
him.
did do something.
Yeah. And I actually accidentally hit my mate too, which like I found out later. Which
What,
was
you
like,
just knocked your mate out cold by accident?
Yeah. And I thought I was going to be an actor.
Really?
I was like, yeah, I'm going to go to jail and then I'm going to be an actor.
Okay.
Yeah. Go to ring it, the phone's ringing, and I just felt like 2 taps on that side and 1 tap on that side. And I was like, fuck, I knew straight. I'd never been stabbed, but I just knew, you know. And I just turned that way and I seen both of them tried to run into the same spot. I got stabbed 3 times in the back of the head, twice in the back of that shoulder, once in the back of that shoulder. Like my whole shirt was just red, you know.
Yeah. Guys, welcome back to Project 23. We have Nathan Paddison from gangster to artist. Welcome, bro.
Thanks, bro. Thanks for having me.
Mate, thanks for coming up here, mate. You've actually driven up here.
Yeah. Yeah, had to drive, yeah.
Yeah, you said a funny thing on the phone. No, I'm not good. Okay, can you say why you drove up here, or we'll stay away from that?
Oh, because I had warrants. Yeah. They're like 20 years old.
Really?
Yeah.
Mate, I cracked up. So when you said, oi, bro, I can't fly in, I might have warrants, I go, fuck, that's the best thing I've ever heard. That's funny.
Yeah, from
man.
2001 or 2002.
Okay, yeah. You're a bit older, aren't you?
Yeah.
How old are you?
Well, I tell everyone I'm 21, but I'm 40. Yeah.
You're 40, man?
Yeah.
You don't look 40, but...
Oh, thanks, bro.
Yeah, that's crazy. When you said you've got... Oh, yeah, I'll drive up, man, you know, because where are you from in New South Wales?
On around Nelson's Bay now.
Okay, so like near Newcastle area,
Yeah.
kind of just outside there.
Yeah.
So you've just jumped in the car and drove all the way to the Gold Coast for the podcast. That's legendary, bro. Thanks for coming on. So first thing I want to get into, bro.
Yeah.
You've been talking a little bit on TikTok Live. Little bit of drama going, not drama, but like you've been calling out Moody, mate. Let's get straight into that. Let's dive into it.
Yeah, so a few people, you know, I was known in my past for fighting and stuff, and everyone's always like, oh, fight this guy, fight that guy. So I'm always like, yeah, I'll fight anyone. Like if you're getting paid or if it's for a good charity and that, you know, there's something behind it, then I'll definitely jump in there. Like I've never said no to a fight, but then Moody put something on YouTube.
Yeah.
Because I think he doesn't like that thing with Bunnings and everyone's always going on about it and that. So he's like, I'll jump in the ring. I'll jump in the ring with anyone. I'll have a boxing fight, this, that.
Yeah.
So I seen that and a few people sent it to me and I was like, oh, bro, I'll fight you. Like, sweet, let's do it, you know?
Yeah, gotcha. So you're not, because Moody's my mate. I chat to him all the time. You guys are good in that.
Yeah, we're sweet, but it'll be a different story in the ring. Like we're both like got that attitude, you know what I mean?
Yeah, so you just want to punch on.
Yeah.
Is there any movement? Is anything is anyone interested? Is anyone getting around it?
Yeah, we've had a lot of people contact us, or contact me, like promotion places, boxing gyms, a couple of promoters and that, like smaller people to sponsor and that.
Yeah.
We just want bigger sponsorship, you know, like more sponsors, bigger, because I think the people that we can get on there and the attention we can bring to it, there's a few Australian champions and like proper professional fighters that will fight on the card as well.
Yeah. It's just going to be an issue with the whole criminal background and gangster lifestyle. It's like, because those fights have to be like ran past the police, and then it's like you've got you two boys trying to go at it. It's like, fuck, is it going to happen? That's what I'm trying to wonder.
Well, we're gonna do like show that we can be together, but we can also do it where you know what I mean, like our friends don't turn up.
Yeah,
it's just me and him. Like we don't need people to turn up.
So no crowd at all, kind of thing.
Or we can have a no crowd where it's just online, or just or we could have it out of state.
Yeah,
so that we don't have our friends there or shit like that. You know.
Yeah, gotcha.
But it's bringing attention to like knife stuff too, like all the knife violence that's going around.
Yeah.
To like put the knives down and put the gloves on if you want to have a go.
Yeah, I think that's why I wanted to I was about to just ask you that, like the background of why you're doing it. I think that's a great idea. It's like everyone's just fucking like the knife crime right now.
Yeah.
I don't know what's going on in Australia, and like I want to get your thoughts on it. Like what's going on with that? That isn't Australia, is it?
No, I don't know if it's people online or you know what I mean, but there's starting to be a little culture around it where people think that that it's cool, you know what I mean? And me and Morty are two people that, you know, we've got a lot of them younger troubled people that sort of look up to us or follow us and that, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
So we're trying to set a good example for them and show them that that's not right, you know. And we've both been involved in knife crime like in the past and that, and we both know, you know, it's not a man thing to do, you know what I mean? It's not something you should be proud of or you know what I mean? It's like,
Yeah. Do you reckon
it is a weak action.
Yeah. Do you reckon it's stemming from, like, I haven't been to the UK yet. I plan on going really soon, but the UK, like, it's this big stabbing like knife thing, and apparently I've seen live streams where there's guys walking up and they're showing that it's like, put the knife down. Like, there's signs around the street in the UK. It's that bad. Like, there's stabbings all over the place.
Yeah, I've heard that. And I think it is, you know, like people see that online and then they think, as soon as they get it in their head that other people have knives, then they want a knife.
Yeah.
And as soon as they feel a bit of fear, they're like, you know, get the knife out because then they don't have to fight or punch on or whatever, you know?
Yeah. I think it's me personally, man, like I think it's super sad. Like, if someone like have a punch on, I'm not being like tough or whatever, but have a scrap, shake hands after it. Like, I'm not old school as, but that's the old school thing. Have a punch on. I'm sure you've bladed a few. Like, I've actually heard that you have. Like, I was watching another podcast, but I think we need to push that. And if you and Moody need to fight and put that on your backs and go, yo, this is what we're pushing, mate. I say go for it and fucking go and have a punch on. These are both my mates. I hope you're all the best. And if I can get on the card with someone that's on my level and don't put me with anyone that's shit. I need someone up here, bro. I need someone.
I know. I've had a few people say, "Oh, bro, I'll fight Luke," and they'll go, "Bro, you don't even have a following." Like,
who the fuck are these people, bro?
Like, he's going to bring all the money to the show, and you're going to bring nothing. Like, you need two people with similar followings so that, you know, they're both bringing in money. Why bring in money on one side when you can bring it in on two sides and attention on two sides too?
Yeah, we need the attention for it. Yeah, so I'd happily, I'll say it right now, I'd happily get on that card, man. And for what you're trying to push as well. I've been training as well. I've been doing my boxing. We upload clips where we want people to talk. Like, I had my boxing coach on here. Like 2 weeks ago, we upload Mimi clips and how I'm fighting and like doing everything wrong. But I've been training the last 2 years pretty hard, bro, and consistent. So, man, I'm ready to go. And if it's for a cause like that where we talk about putting the knives down and what's going on in Australia, mate, bring it on. If I walk in and get knocked out, as long as I'm taking home a big bag, I don't give a fuck.
Yeah, bro, you jump in there, bro, that you win already. You know what I mean? Doesn't matter if you don't even get to throw a punch, bro. Like, just having the balls to step in there and have a go, like, that's big, you know? Like, a lot of these boys won't do that, you know? Even with 10 mates behind them, they won't put their hands up.
Yeah. I got to say, bro, you look like you've walked in and seen me, and I'm 6'8". I'm a pretty tall dude. Man, I got to say, you look very short online.
Do I?
I don't know. Is it a thing? Is it a thing? Like, you are, what are you, 6?
I know, I'm 5'11", like
5'11"?
Yeah.
What shoes? One second, you got. Okay, bro, you're pretty tall, man. Like, I thought you were like pretty. Yeah. You've got some size, and you're built as well. Yeah. No, I think that's a great message, man. If that can happen, you know, in the right way, with the right support, and not have, like, even if it doesn't have a crowd and it's a live stream, maybe we can talk more about it and try and make it happen as well for that cause. I feel like because I think it's, before we move on from this as well, like, the music's having a big impact
the drill.
on like, I listen to it, man. I'll hit the bag listening to the UK drill. Like, I'm boxing, too, bro, and I'm listening to it, like, the beat kind of goes with it, but it's like, is that music like I don't know, man.
It's not. Because I know when I was younger, Tupac, like, he was probably my main influence. Fuck, he made me bad as fuck. Like, it was terrible. I stopped listening to Tupac when I decided to change my life. I was like, I can't listen to that shit because it like gets in my head and fucking starts sending you to jail.
Was Tupac that? Oh, I don't know, man. Was Tupac bad? Like, was he rapping about bad shit? Like,
when you listen to Hit 'Em Up and all that, like, I used to listen to Hit 'Em Up.
Is Hit 'Em Up Biggie or two? Oh no, that's a revenge thing to Biggie.
This track,
So he goes, "What's up?" You know, like, I fucked your wife or some shit. And then you're like, fuck. So it's been like a long time since. Okay. The music's I think the music's having a big impact of what's going on. Hopefully in Australia, guys, we can put the knives down no matter what, because 100%. I think it's even what's going on in shopping malls and against women and shit like that. People need to pull their heads in, man, straight up.
We need to Like, remember when they changed the king hit to the coward punch?
Yeah.
Like they shamed it?
Yes.
Yeah.
You're spot on there. It's like, make it not cool to do that.
Yeah.
And shame it out. And also what we need to do is we need to make DV not fucking cool.
Yeah, fucking
you know,
right.
like I have, and no one knows about your warrants, but I have police friends, and I talk to them, and like a really good friend of mine is a cop, and she tells me about all the jobs she goes to with DV, and it's like, imagine if as a society we were like, you are the shittest person for doing that, and then like if the laws get stricter on that as well, it's like, it doesn't happen.
Yeah.
It's the biggest problem.
Yeah.
Like, that's why police have probably got a job. Most of the police have got a job, mate, because they're just going to DVs all the time. And remove out. Do you drink?
Oh, no. So I stopped. A lot of my jail time was from drinking.
Yeah.
So in 2011, I stopped drinking, and I've drank maybe 5 times since then, like a couple of parties and that. Yeah.
Congratulations, man, because
thanks,
I think that leads to as well, like, see this, like, it's like, oh, go home on a Friday, fucking few Bundy rums or whatever. Next minute you're throwing shit at the TV and going off, and you're not actually yourself, man.
Yeah,
so
it is. It's it brings out violence, 100%. Alcohol does,
Yeah. So if I don't know, it's a big problem, man, but we've just touched on the knifing, the DV, the fucking, there's so much more we could talk about with, and I think you're spot on. Shaming this shit out is what we need to do as a society to move forward, I think.
Yeah.
It's not going to fucking go that way, is it? No,
and
it's
then
not.
people you can always put the gloves on, you know. And if you offer someone out and they say no, like, fuck, you win, bro.
Yeah,
Go home, like, you don't need to fight him, bro. He's not going to fight you back. Like,
Do you know what I thought about is, like, this is a fucking weird thing, but it's like, imagine carrying, so like, say you're walking down the street and you got a backpack on your back with a little square boxing ring in it, and then a referee. So you got a referee in your backpack, and then you got
Little
2 sets of gloves. Then you got 2 sets of gloves. So as soon as someone, you know how like people get out of the car and they're like, you want to have a go? And I'm looking at, like, it happened 3 weeks ago. This guy's like, oh, fucking smack. And I'm in the Tesla, bro. I'm low as fuck. Bro, if I jump out, this guy's getting straight back
like
in
that
his
show,
this guy's getting straight back in his car and shutting his mouth. So imagine if I jumped out with a little bag with the referee, the boxing gloves and the boxing ring, and said, let's sort out like men and shake hands after.
Yeah.
That's my vision for where we need to go.
Yeah, fucking oath. Yeah.
That's a weird vision, eh?
Like local boxing gyms could hold them, you know? Like, or you just want to jump in, just ring the local boxing gym. Like,
maybe that, like, and then a safer society. No one's getting like temple shotted by accident, like, or
you don't need
hitting
to bring
their
your
head
mates,
on the
you
ground.
can both rock up there. Like,
Maybe we need to lead towards that.
Yeah.
Oh, we're trying to change the world on Project 23. Let's fucking go.
Let's go.
Let's get into your, bro, just, mate, your upbringing. Like, what happened and what leads you to being locked up for, was it 13 years?
Yeah, almost 13 years. So I grew up in like Guildford, Maryland's area.
Yeah.
I was sort of like the little black sheep in my family. Like, I'd always get in trouble. My brother, my sisters, like, my whole family's, none of them are criminal or anyway like that. But my dad was always like, he was known as a tough guy, you know, like, he still plays front row for Australia in the seniors.
Okay,
He's 65, 66,
Is he? He's having a run at 65?
Yeah.
Fuck,
and he
what
always
a legend.
boxed and that, and you know, so in kindergarten I got thrown against the tree.
Yeah.
From this kid, he threw me against a tree, and I remember going home and told my dad, and from that day he took me boxing. And at school I was always like the smallest kid, like I was little and skinny, and so after that, but I think it was just my mentality and looking up to my dad that, you know, boxing probably wasn't for me.
Yeah.
It sort of turned me into the bully.
Yeah,
like, I went
gotcha.
from being bullied to being a bully.
Yeah.
Which, like, you know, like, when I look back on it now, it fucking sucks, you know. But like, I just didn't have that. I think I needed more like psychology shit in my head, and because sometimes I'd box and I'd look at people like I'd want to fight everyone, you know. It didn't go the way where a lot of people are like, oh, I learned self-defense, it's good discipline and that, you know.
Okay, so you were young.
Yeah.
You were young and kind of, when you
Like,
train,
it made me want to fight,
when you train, you walk around going, fuck, man, I'm really conditioned to body shot this guy if I need to. Like, I'm going to break his rib kind of thing. Yeah, so you're looking at it as that, whereas, like, So what do you reckon? Getting into boxing at a young age was not good at all.
Wasn't good for me. And it's also the people around me too, you know, like the influences around me and the area I grew up in, you know. So like the people that everybody's talking about are these like, you know, like the gangsters, the bikies and all the violent people around the area. Like this guy shot him, this guy pumped him, this guy, you know, this guy can smash everyone, like, you know. So that's what you hear, you know. And knowing that my dad could punch on, and I'd looked up to him a lot. Yeah. So he left when I was 10 years old.
Yeah, okay.
And after that, I sort of took on the man role in my house, or I thought I was. Okay. You know, I was only 10 years old, but I was the oldest brother. I had two older sisters, but I'm like, there's me and my brother. Yeah. And then the rest of girls in the house, you know.
Okay, so my mum,
my mum never got a boyfriend or nothing while we were growing up. So
were you punching on with him if he ever had? Did she ever get a boyfriend or?
I put him through the wall. Yeah.
That's same with my mum. As soon as a bloke would come into the house and they're getting on the piss, it's like, oh, cunt, let's go.
Yeah. He tried to kick me out when I was 18 or 19.
Okay. And
he put his hands up, and then I just dropped him. He went through the wall.
Okay. Yeah. That was the only other boyfriend that your mum had, kind of thing?
Yeah, that was the only one, yeah.
Shit, and that didn't like, you put him straight through the wall.
Yeah. I was drunk and he told me to get out, like get the fuck out or something out of the house, you know, and he put his hands up and I just went bang.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so I want to touch on the area that you've mentioned where you grew up.
Yeah.
For anyone that doesn't understand, like, and I can say this, like, with all of my videos, I don't know if you're familiar with them, but I did not film in that area.
Yeah.
Like, it is a solid, like, in the whole of Sydney, like Marylands, Guildford, that Woodville Road.
Yeah.
Is like, it's a fucking serious area, man. Like, always on the news, stuff going on. I'm not saying anything against it, but you don't mess around in that area. That's what I know of it anyway.
It's a very, very tense area. Like,
Well, I grew up in Campbelltown and I'm like, oh, that's nothing compared to Guildford. Like, if you drive up to that Meccano set, fucking windows up, focus. Like, is that true or not?
Yeah.
And you grew up in that area that I'm saying that I'm kind of like not going film. Mate, I'll go film in Cronulla. Went and done Best Boxer in Mount Druitt.
Yeah.
Like, all over Sydney done it.
Yeah.
I'm not going to Marylands, bro, and doing that.
No one goes.
End the story, you know? So you did grow up in a really solid area.
Yeah. And to us in that area, like, that's just, like, it becomes normal. All that stuff's normal to us. So, like, we don't even notice it.
Yeah.
You know, and you don't notice who you become. You just become a product of your environment. And,
you know,
you're either going to stay home and play computer games, or you're going to be out there, like, fighting and doing all that shit, you know?
Yeah, gotcha. As a, like, I don't know how to explain that area, man. It's in Sydney, it's on the news. Like, there is gangland walls. Imagine being a cop in that area.
Oh, yeah.
That'd be serious, wouldn't it? Yeah.
So they never, like, I remember when I was younger, if a cop car came by themselves, they wouldn't get out. They'd come with like 3, 4, 5 cop cars before they'd get out. Yeah. Yeah, so we just, you know, you just run amok on the streets. You drive around like fucking hanging out of stolen cars and, you know, knocking over wheelie bins in them and fucking doing whatever, you know, fighting and shit, you know. You'd rarely ever get arrested around that area, you know.
Yeah, because there was a lot of serious crime going on.
Big groups walking around and just
so you grew
everywhere.
You grew up from your, like, the first thing you can remember, you're in Marylands, Guildford area. Is that where you grew up?
Yeah, so I was born in Villawood, but when I was 1, we moved to Guildford.
Okay.
So yeah.
So you get into the boxing. Yeah. You what happens? You throw this guy up against a tree.
No, he threw me against a tree.
And then you go into boxing.
Yeah.
And then you start like finding yourself, and then where's that lead you? It leads you into the wrong way.
Well, it did, because I started having fights with people.
Yeah.
And because I could box, I'd start winning these fights and stuff. So everyone would be like I'd get attention for that, you know?
Yeah, okay.
And like I love attention. So I'm like, yeah, fuck, this is mad, you know? So I'm just like, that's what I did to get attention too, you know? Like, and anytime my friends would have a fight or they were going to be in a fight, like, I'd sort of jump in and just fight for them.
Okay.
Yeah, like I'm very protective of people that I'm close to and shit.
Yeah.
That's why I live by myself now in my own area. Like, I don't hang around to anybody.
Yeah, so you're trying to stay away from that whole, like, if your mate gets in a fight, you're going to be punched.
Yeah,
so you're staying away up in Newcastle, the beaches, mate. Just relax.
Yeah, get away from everyone.
Okay. So through school, how was that? Like, it was just.
I got kicked out in year 9.
Yeah.
From Maryland High, fighting. So I'd come back from a suspension, and actually Moody was there.
Yeah.
So this guy called me a dickhead in class, and I didn't do nothing because it was my first day back of suspension.
Yeah.
But then he's gone and told Moody, oh, I just called Nathan a dickhead, laughing and that, you know, he didn't do nothing.
Yeah.
And Moody's come up, he goes, bro, was he calling you a dickhead in class and you didn't do nothing? He's laughing at you. And I was like, oh yeah, bro, I'm going to get him after school. Well, I wasn't, you know, I was trying to let it slide, but because Moody come up, I'm like, yeah, bro, I'm going to get him. So after school, Moody's with me, you know.
Yeah.
And hiding behind the tree and waiting for this guy to come around. Then just jumped out and, bashed him. He ran back into the school and told him. By the time I got home, I'd been expelled. There was there was a message on the answering machine from my mum. Nathan, you ring me now. I was like, shit.
Fuck, what's going like with Moody being like you're in school together, man.
Yeah.
Like that's pretty like he's from a pretty serious family and whatnot. How does that what are you doing running around in school together? Like how is that?
So it was like it was different, bro, but it was cool. Like the first day, what's it called? The orientation the year before.
Yeah.
So we both went there. I didn't know anything about Ibrahim's or like we didn't have many Lebos in the school back then either.
Yeah, gotcha.
Had a couple and that, but he's jumped up and he's like being a loudmouth and then I was like, bro, shut up, right?
To Moody?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he's like, what the fuck, rah. I'm thinking, oh shit, you know. Who is this idiot, you know? But I'd always won the fights at my school, so I thought, oh yeah, whatever, bro. Like this is gonna happen when I get to high school. Went out that day. I remember thinking he was gonna come out and fight me, but we sort of just went with our schools. But first day of school, we nearly had a fight.
Yeah.
I think he pushed me and I pushed him back, and then he threw the basketball at me, and fucking like everyone sort of jumped in, but his brothers jumped up. He's like one on one, you know. Like his brother would always do that. Like he wouldn't let Moody jump people. Like he'd always make him fight one on one.
Yeah, that's cool. Yeah.
But after that, a lot of people were still scared of him and his brothers and his family and that. So being in year 7 and 8 and that, like I'd get around with him and like, you know, he'd go off at the year 12s and that, and they wouldn't say nothing, you know. They'd be like, yeah, bro, yeah, you know. And I'm often thinking, yeah, this is mad, you know? Like, yeah.
So he's running around the school just doing your thing, yeah.
Yeah, Moody's slapping them up and that, and I'm thinking, fuck, these are like, you know,
like
17, 18-year-olds, and we're like 13.
So you were just bound from the start to just like lead into that criminal kind of lifestyle, you know, who you're hanging around and who you're saying product of your environment, like, you're pretty much bound for like criminal activity.
Yeah.
So go from school and then where does the jail start?
So I'd actually started in Queensland. I got it was only for a week, but so I got done for fraud.
Yeah.
Just bank fraud, cash and checks, because I got into the Asian gangs. Back then the Asian gangs were real big.
Okay.
Got into this triad gang and was cashing checks and doing all this shit. And I only went for a week in Queensland. They got me at the bank trying to cash a check.
Yeah.
Had like 30-something IDs and like a stack of checks and cash and all that shit.
How old were you trying to do this?
18 when they got me then. Yeah.
And you're just cruising around like kind of catch me if you can, just doing fraudulent activity.
Yeah.
Was it a big thing back then?
I'd been kicked out from my mum and dad.
Yeah.
So I was just staying in motels and doing all that, Before that I had like I used to get other boys to do it for me, and you know I'd send them in and whatever, you know, because I was part of the crew, so they'd just tell me to get people.
Yeah.
But then when I got kicked out from home, I was like, oh fuck it, I'll just go, you know.
Yeah.
Because I got nowhere to live anyway. I'm homeless, like let's go, you know. So then I was just living in fucking motels and shit and living it up, like taking 5-10 boys with me and shit everywhere I went, like.
Fuck, that's crazy, man.
Yeah.
What's
But then I went, like my first like real time was like New South Wales.
Okay.
And it was at a so I'd been arrested for I'd bottled someone.
Yeah.
And I got arrested for that, got bailed to a rehab. I was only in for a couple of weeks, but got bailed to a rehab. Took off from the rehab for about a week, and then there was a big fight at a party.
Yeah.
And these guys that had jumped my mate rang me up and said, oh, come around, bro. These guys are saying they're Singwa, which was like the name of the
another gang.
Oh, that's the name of the gang I was with back then.
Okay.
These Chinese gang.
Okay.
And I was like, oh yeah, sweet. So I'll come around. I went around and had 2 carloads with me or something. And this was actually on the Central Coast. Walked around the back. I asked my mate, oh, who is it? You know? And he goes, oh, these guys on the couch. So I rang the boys. I said, just run around. There's 3 guys on the couch. Just lay into them, you know? So they all come just running around like into this party and just jumped on these 3 blokes.
Yeah.
And then they've taken off, and I was like, the boy's like, let's go. And I said, no, I'm going to stay with him in case they come back.
Yeah.
I didn't know the cops were coming and then I was drunk. And as I'm walking back into the party, one of them was standing there all like bashed up and that, and the cops were out the front, but I didn't think nothing. I was like, well, I didn't really do it, you know.
You've just kind of said,
Yeah.
run in and smash these blokes. Yeah.
I hit one guy from, like he went to jump in from behind and I hit him, that's it, but no one really seen me.
So
hit
you
him.
did do something.
Yeah. And I actually accidentally hit my mate too, which like I found out later. Which
What,
was
you
like,
just knocked your mate out cold by accident?
yeah. Because it was like sort of like shit was going on real quick and he's
Yeah.
like, I've just turned and he was there and I dropped him. But so they're like, this guy dude's pointing me out and I was like laughing. I'm like, I didn't do nothing.
Yeah.
And fucking they've grabbed me and they charged me with all of it and yeah.
Fuck. So when the cops get you so like all these guys have ran in and flogged some people.
Yeah.
But because you're there.
Yeah, I got done for all of it. Yeah.
All of it?
Yeah, all of it, yeah.
What about, and then just that's it? Like they don't kind of look more into going, oh yeah, like the other five guys
they come and
ran.
tried to question me and I wouldn't answer them and then after the like I sort of just said my name on it and that on the interview thing and I'm like, no comment. Well, when they've turned it off and he's walking me back to their cells because they brought me from Long Bay to Surrey Hills Police Centre.
Yeah.
And he goes, just tell us it was rah-rah and said my mate's name. He goes, and we'll drop the charges, you know, we know it was him. And I was like, no fucking way.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and I ended up getting 3 years, yeah. And he's not my mate no more.
He's not your mate. You should have gave him a bit of snitching going on, bro. Yeah, fuck it. I'll take it back. It was him.
But the guy I hit didn't even charge. So it was like everyone I got charged for I didn't even touch anyway.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay, so 3 years. I want to go back to when you say the fraud.
Yeah.
Because I think straight Catch Me If You Can. You know the movie.
It sort of was like that, yeah.
Okay, so I want to run through, like people aren't doing that these days.
Nah.
Okay, so you can kind of give us give it up, bro. What'd you do? Like, how does this work? Can you say that or not really?
Oh, yeah, like the stuff they were doing back then, you wouldn't be able to do it now. This is like, what, over 20 years ago?
Okay.
So I'd rock up and they'd have, it was like a syndicate from Indonesia.
Yeah.
Connected with the Chinese people that I was dealing with and that.
Yeah.
And they had people all over the world, like different countries and that. But they were, so this would have been the start of the internet.
Yeah.
You know, not the start, but like
you're 100% right to talk about this. You're not you're not.
No.
Okay, yeah. Okay.
Like no one's going to get done for it. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
But so I'd just come in. They'd have stacks of cash. I mean, checks already signed and shit. Like they were making the checks. They had all the signatures. Like they were just blank checks with signatures on them, all different businesses and whatever. Yeah.
And then what? You just walk
fake
into
IDs,
the bank.
They had all the IDs for me and all that. Yeah. So I just walk in and give them my ID. Like give them the check.
Yeah.
Give them my ID because I'd use a different ID from like different states, you know.
Yeah, yeah.
So that I don't know, it wasn't like linked in their state or whatever. But back then you used to have to go to the branch to make sure they had the signature on file. Like it wasn't all on the computer.
Yeah.
So we'd look at the branch number on the bottom of the check. We'd go in there and if they touched the phone, I'd just walk out. I'd have my phone set on the ringtones.
Yeah.
And then I'd just press down and it'd go to the next ringtone. It'd ring once and I'd pretend to answer it. Then I'd pretend, I'm like, I can't hear you. I'm like, 1 sec, keep doing that, and I'd just walk out. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So with the IDs, is it your face on there? Back then is your face.
Yeah.
So you got a Northern Territory one walking in going, like, this is me.
I just bang, yeah.
And then how much money are you getting out at these times? Like,
so the withdrawal, it wasn't a limit, but you're meant to ring up if you want over $3,000.
Okay.
So it would always be, between 2,000 and 3,000 per check, yeah.
And how long did this last?
2 months I was doing it, but they were doing it for a lot longer than that.
And then how many times could you do a check?
So I think the most I did one was like 7 times.
Yeah.
In
one day?
No. I'd go day by day.
Okay.
Yeah. So it would have been like 3 or 4 days one week, then back the next week, and then I think they went to jump on the phone.
Yeah.
And I walked out, yeah.
So you've been an entrepreneur since fucking way back.
Entrepreneur, yeah.
That's fucking awesome, mate. Yeah. I might try and go and do that shit now. No, I love Catch Me If You Can, how that movie goes together. And
well, they got me, yeah.
Yeah, fuck. Were you inspired by that type of shit, were you?
No, well, I don't, I didn't even know if that was out back then.
Yeah.
But they're just the Asians. Just they come up with these things and they'd be like, bro, can you get this or can you do this? And I'll be like, yeah, sweet, let's go.
How do you end up involved in? What's your background for starters?
Aussie, I'm just Aussie.
Aussie. What?
Yeah.
How do you end up like rolling with like you say triads?
Yeah.
Like triads, like that's a big. And there's like MS. Is there like another?
Nah. MS-13's in Mexico.
Okay, so there. What's another
Mexico,
Asian gang?
14K.
Yeah, that's it.
Singwa. A 5TV. But triad gangs is like Singwa, 14K, Yutong. Like
so how do you end up rolling with these boys?
Oh, they were everywhere in the late 90s.
Okay.
Like, yeah, they were everywhere. Like, fuck. It was mostly Asian gangs in Sydney.
And
whereas
you just
now you don't see them.
Yeah, you don't see them at all.
Yeah.
But you just kind of were you out at a bar and start linking up with?
Oh, so two blokes tried to jump me outside Attitude at Parramatta. Attitude used to be a pool room.
Yeah.
Opposite the train station.
Yeah.
Tried to roll me and jump me, but I ended up bashing both of them. And then they were like, these boys see me now because I could fight. They were like, oh, bro, you should join in that. I had a friend who was there too who knew one of them.
Yeah.
And then they introduced me to their Darlo, which means boss. Everyone, you call your boss Darlo.
Yeah.
And then it went from that to, so I was in the Parramatta branch. I joined. Then I met some boys from the Chinatown branch in the city, and they took me to the city. So then I was in Chinatown branch.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you're kind of running around King's Cross while it's all active as back in the 90s.
Yeah, George Street. We used to hang around a lot on George Street, and like there was a snooker world on Liverpool Street in the city.
Yeah.
Next to the courthouse, used to be upstairs.
Oh yeah, like Downing Centre. Next to the Downing Centre.
No. You know, off George Street, Liverpool Street. It used to be Hungry Jack's on the corner.
Yeah, okay, yeah. So you were just running around in the city. A boy from like Maryland's kind of making his way into the city, just causing havoc.
Yeah.
Fucking hell, that's
and that was before they had cameras everywhere and that too. They just started putting them in then.
Yeah, I love the whole Australian crime. I love it all. I watch all the stuff. I watch all the investigations, like under investigation. My whole life I've been like watching all this, and I'm like, fuck, it's cool. Even like talking to like Moody and a few other people, I'm like, fuck, man, like it's interesting. I want to get Gary Jublin on this podcast. I will get him on. Yeah, coming on, mate. So
come on, Gary.
Even Jeffrey Morgan, I had him on.
Oh,
and
he's good.
I was like, wow, man. Like he's talking about the John Killick thing where. His missus took the helicopter and and Jeffrey Morgan was standing on the fucking footy field going, there's a helicopter landing. I was like, this is the best stuff, man. So skip forward to you go into jail.
Yeah.
Around 18, 19, you're saying?
Yeah.
What happens so you're thrown into the jail system, like are you prepared for this shit or like
I sort of was like so when I was even in primary school I used to remember telling people that when I got older I was going to go to jail and I was going to be famous. Okay. So like they're two things I don't know why, I just always thought it, but I didn't know how or what was going to happen. I thought I was going to be an actor.
Really?
I was like, I'm going to go to jail and then I'm going to be an actor.
Okay. Yeah. So you need to get jail out of the way first before anything.
I just always knew and always had it in my head that I would do at least 5 years, five or 10 years, I'd be like, I just had 5 years. And I remember getting out after the first 3 years thinking, fuck, I didn't even get to do the 5. I'm going to have to go back.
Need to do another 2.
Yeah. I got to get my diploma or something. But
is that what your mindset was?
Yeah.
Fuck, what makes that? Like, is that just the area? Like, just
it's just the area, and I just think that everybody else, like, goes to jail, and you see these people get out, and it's fucked because what happens is when you get out of jail, everyone thinks you're some sick cunt, or you know what I mean, but really you're dopey. Yeah, like, you know what I mean. You're stupid. Like you got caught, you went to jail. Like you know what I mean. You left your family out there. You left everyone out there. Like it's actually like it's so backwards the way people think. It's not. It's like people think like it's you're hectic for going there, like, and there was hectic in there, whatever. But everybody in jail is just from outside. They're all the same people. You know what I mean? It's not
people say it's like you're another bear bum in the shower, mate. You've legit got no clothes. You've got no fucking. You're scraping by with food, doing a bit of entrepreneurship in there as well, trying to get swap your Nutella for a bit of fucking jam or some shit. I don't know, but it's right. It's like why is that? Why is it made in our society that it's cool? Like it's a fucking random thing, isn't it?
And you get out and then like you get attention off everybody, like girls, guys, and that. Like one starts talking, Paddo just did 2 years, he's out and shit like that. Like fucking what?
And then 3 months later, it's like, oh yeah, he's out and doing his thing. And if you start making moves positively, they go, oh, fuck him, he's doing. You know what I'm saying? Like they start bringing you down.
Yeah.
That's how it all works. So with jail, what happened in there? Because I watched another podcast and you say there's a big fucking point where you were just, what happens in jail?
When I changed.
We won't go straight into change, but any other things? Like you were running some shit in there. I've been told that you were like, you know, you were in a gang or you started a gang?
I didn't start it. I took over it, but yeah.
Okay. What goes on there?
Willing to Kill Him, it was called,
Willing to Kill Him.
Yeah.
So does that just start in the jail like that?
It was started in 98 or something. Yeah. Before I went in there, yeah. So.
And is it a gang in the jails or is it outside as well?
It was, for 20 something years it was.
Fuck.
Yeah. Used to fight with people, used to, you know, check people's paperworks and shit, fucking take out pests and dogs and shit like that, yeah.
What, so yous were just like the kind of the squad inside the squad's there, but yous are like here just fucking people up left, right and centre.
Yeah.
And it would have been different.
I think we had the only yard shut down at Goulburn where like they actually shut the yard down because no one would go in there. There was 6 boys in there and they were all willing to kill them and no one would go in there. Like boys were just getting taken out. I wasn't there at the time. Okay. Yeah. That was the pink yard back in the day.
So what do you mean there was 6 guys and that's
6 guys left because no one would go in there.
So what would happen if someone went in there? They'd
get holes put in them or, you know, like these boys would send drops to people and, you know, they were pretty ruthless then.
Yeah.
Yeah. They'd send drops to people, they'd come back, they'd take it all and, you know, so it'd make people, you know, if you had a drama with them too, it'd be like you got a drama with them and then they take you out. You go, oh, they're psychos, this, that. So it puts fear into everyone else to go around them, you know?
Okay.
But really it's like maybe you had a drama with them or something like that, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what happened? So was there just 6 guys just in that pod?
In one yard, yeah. And then there was like 60 in the next yard. Like, yeah.
What? And then if anyone went in there, it was just like, nah, you just...
Oh, pretty much, yeah. They'd be walking on eggshells because everyone's like, them boys are just fucking...
They're going to wreck you in a second.
Yeah.
When you say put holes in you, like, are people dying in here?
People die sometimes in jail, you know. It's not like America and shit, like, you know, some people carry on like, oh, fuck, people are getting murdered all the time. Like, yeah, there's a lot of stabbings compared to how many people died, not many die compared to how many stabbings there are, you know.
I was thinking, so I done, you might fucking, so I done 6 weeks jail.
Yeah.
I went from the Meriton penthouse into like jail from doing like pranks and shit like that. And
I heard that. Yeah.
And I was fucking like I went in there and I've told people, I've told this on a podcast and whatnot, mate. I get put in there, and I play the whole mental health card straight away.
Yeah.
So then I get put in a dry cell and shit, like the stupidest, like just the stupidest shit of like. And I don't plan on ever going back to jail, but like it was just a funny thing. Like I do the dry cell, then the next morning I've got fucking this officer, which like everyone's like, don't talk to officers and shit. Like me, mate, I'm 6 weeks in. I'm gonna try and get extra food, and I'm negotiating my way through this shit. You're like a serious jail person, you know. I don't give a fuck about it. Like I'll say that now.
Yeah, I don't now. Like
I end up in this guy's like, mate, my no, I won't say it. Okay. He kind of said, mate, like you're gonna get so he knew someone higher up in the jail that worked there. And he goes, man, I've seen what goes on. He goes, you're a high profile person. Like I'm like, where do I go kind of thing? You know what I'm saying? Like, I've been put in the dry cell at fucking 4 p.m. Got given a meat pie. I'm a vegetarian, bro. So I've said, nah, I'll wait till the next meal comes around. The next meal's fucking the next day. And I'm like tripping out. Anyway, I got put in like segregation and then fucking that story goes on. But it's funny how like I didn't know anything about it, and then you've got like a full system running in there, like doing your thing, you know. Like I've signed something and ended up going into like fucking. I'll say it, bro. Like I was in like what is it called, low association or some shit.
Oh, limited.
Yeah, and like cunts go off about that, bro. I don't know what the fuck I'm doing, mate. Keep me in the segro. I don't want to talk to any cunt. That's me, you know.
Yeah.
Like, I'll be honest, and I've told this on live.
It's fucked with people like that, like. like years ago, I'd be like, oh, what the fuck, you know?
You'd
but,
go off at me and say like, what the fuck are you
what'd
doing?
you do? Yeah, but now I sort of understand people, and it's like it's not. Yeah, it's just like, fuck, bro. It's just jail. Like, do your time, get home, come out a better person than when you went in.
Yeah,
like, don't worry about what fucking people think in there that are going to live their lives in there.
Yeah.
Like, fuck them,
That's
bro.
a good message, bro, honestly. And me saying what I'm saying as well to like, you've been in jail and done your thing, and that's probably like, it's like, fuck, you know, like, but people don't know what the fuck they're doing, man.
Yeah.
On the outside, if you play the mental health card, not play the mental health card, sorry, but like you go to hospital, say you're not getting bail.
Yeah.
Fuck, man, I'm sad. I'm going to hospital before. And it's a weird system, but then you go into like jail, man, and it just, you're not getting fed if you're fucking going to I remember my first night in there, bro. It was the biggest turning point of my life. And it's mad to hear you speak about it like that, because there's so many tough cunts on the internet talking about jail and whatnot. It's like, it's not a good place, man.
Oh, it's putrid everywhere, I'll get people like, oh, bro, what's the best jail? This, bro, none of them. Not one day anywhere is good, bro.
You've got no freedom, do you? You got no fucking, you're getting your...
Like, you might laugh and that, but, bro, I'd rather laugh on the outside than fucking any day in jail. Like, there's no place or anything in there that's going to be better than where you could be outside, you know?
Yeah, 100%. Even if you're just fucking laying on the concrete outside, mate. The sun's going on you. You can go and lay on the sand, maybe. You know, like, it's an interesting thing. But what happened in jail? Just you were running them up.
I ended up in the gang unit is sort of when I took over Willen. So me, the guy that started it was in the gang unit already. Yeah. And back then, I think nearly half the gang unit was willing to kill him. I think there was like 4 there out of like 9 people or something. Yeah. But it was like, we just took it. He sort of like had a mental breakdown and fucking all this shit, and he had it sort of broke him being in the gang unit. Who did, the boss? Yeah.
Okay, so the leader of that. Yeah.
So he's it sort of it breaks a lot of people in there. Okay. And a lot of people. I remember even when I got there, they were like, bro, just cry to the council and they'll give you a TV and shit. I mean, I spent the whole time, I didn't even go to level 1-0. Like, I was on 1-0 the whole time. I never even went to 1-1. I never got a TV.
I don't even understand any of this shit.
Yeah, so they start on level 1 and it goes up 2, 3, 4, like 1, 1, 1, 2. And they give you little bits extra at a time.
Oh, okay. So if you're behaving, you get shit?
Yeah, if you do what they say and, you know, and they'll test you. And you swear at them, they'll take it back. And
is this the gang or the
gang unit?
Oh, so it's in is that a pod now? Or?
It was in... It started in Parklea. When I went there, it was in Lithgow. Yeah. So it's like, if you do a Google map of Lithgow, there's a square, like a brick, like another jail inside it looks like. Yeah. But it's in there. It was in there, yeah. Now it's in the Supermax. But they sort of put all the like gang leaders or people in gangs that are doing like, you know, a lot of stabbings or shit like that, they put them in there.
Yeah, okay.
And they'd have to do a program, which is the same program as the Supermax. And at the time, they'd send people that were messing up at the Supermax to the gang unit and vice versa, you know? Yeah. When I went there was when that Bass Hamsey got caught with the phone. Okay. He got caught with a phone in there, you know? I don't know how the fuck he got a phone in there, but yeah, he had a phone, got done with that, was running drugs up and down Melbourne and Sydney and shit, but I was in Segra at the time and they took him back to the Supermax and then I took his bed. Yeah, but... It was fucking like if you went in there now, they'd take everything off you, like anything that you've
in the
bought,
gang unit. They'd just take it off. So you have to start from the start. Yeah, jail undies, jail socks, jail shorts, shirt, everything. You know, you're on a $15 buy up a week. Really? Like, yeah, that's all I could get, $15 a week. I was meant to go see counsellors and do these courses and shit. I didn't do anything. Anytime you leave, you get strip search. The one where they'll like bend you over and do all that shit, put you in orange overalls, then cuff you, like shackle you, walk you around with like surrounded by squad and shit. Then when you get back, same search, back in your cell. So it's serious. You're not fucking around.
You don't mix with anyone until you go up a few levels. Then you can mix with one person.
Okay.
Which is like, I don't know if it's like an hour, a couple of times a week. Otherwise, you've got your backyard. If you're on assault or threatened staff, like ATS, what they'll do is, when they open your door at the front, there's still a cage there, so it's like 2 doors. So they'll handcuff you to that cage, and they'll come around the back, they'll open the door, they'll come back around, and then uncuff you, and, you know, you can go out into the back, which is like, fuck, it's about the size of, you know, like from the rug over here.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you can just see like a brick wall and then bars on top.
So do you get led there because you take over the Willem?
Well, I sort of took it over there, but they were just like,
how'd you get there?
There was a lot of allegations. So I had you got to get free warnings first.
Okay.
I had free warnings, but I think I was the only person there that hadn't been actually charged with stabbing or something.
Yeah.
I'd just been a lot of allegations, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then I was just like, fuck, they just put me there.
So you're in normal jail, and
Yeah.
and then you get put in the gang unit for what reason? For the allegations?
Oh no, they were saying that me and my friend were trying to off someone.
Okay.
Yeah, so they got intel that me and my mate were trying to off someone, and
okay.
I didn't know that for 2 months. They didn't tell it to me. He come over like 2 months later, and the one that got he got sent after me, but then he got sent back to, because he'd come from the Supermax. They sent him back to the Supermax, and but he told me as he come through, he said, "No, they're saying that we were trying to knock old mate," and I was like, "What the fuck?"
Really?
Yeah.
Fucking hell. So, and you were known as like some fighter guy in like.
They could fight, yeah.
You spent a lot of time in jail, and then did you get a bit of a reputation of just punching on with people and
or just like,
putting holes in people, as you
yeah,
say?
yeah.
Like what? You just stab something? I've never stabbed something. I've actually been stabbed. I mean, it was fucking tough, cunt, mate. But maybe bro punching on little. But nothing like what you're saying. But like fucking what? So you just stab some like. Yeah, cunts dying in front of you, or what's going on here, mate?
Oh no, they're not dying or nothing, but it's like you know, I haven't been charged for any of them, so I don't really want to go into details.
Yeah,
but it's like, you know, the word gets around about you and that, and because I'd always train, I'd always hit the pads, and you know, I'd always be in shape, you know, like I'd always be and I could fight, you know, like that's something I could always do was fight. So yeah, you get a bit of a rep, and if you don't do shit goes by people too, then it's like social media, you know, you've got this following.
Yeah.
Like where everyone's got your back, you know, like fucking, yeah. So I had a lot of people, a lot of support from everyone. Had a very good name. Anywhere I'd go, everyone would like know my name and be like, oh, fuck, you're Paddo, bro, you know, and everyone would like look up to me straight away, and I'd be pretty sweet after a few years, yeah.
Yeah, gotcha.
Like I'd walk in the pod and, sweet, that pod's mine, you know. Like.
And then here's me, I'm in Segro just for fucking couple of weeks doing me fucking done the big time,
Better
mate.
off being there, bro. Like,
mate, straight to TV, own shit, just stick away from every cunt, you know.
I don't know why people bag people that, fuck, bro, I'd encourage people to not go to the yard if they could, you know. Like
I don't know why
go home, bro. Go
home. The guards come in and said it's time for you to move. You know what I'm saying? And then made me sign something. Next minute I end up in like LA, which is like not good. You know, I was getting comfy, bro, trying to score some extra meals. You know, a bit of chocolate.
You're high profile and shit. They do that to a lot of high profile people.
Yeah,
that have been in the media and stuff.
I'm actually glad, like, kind of, especially at the time, because like. There was a few things that come out maybe about some money and stuff like that. I just don't want to, bro. I didn't even talk to my mum for the 6 weeks, you know. I didn't want to, I was so upset, bro. I was just like, fuck that, man. Just get me this done. Get me to the court date and out of here. I'll go back outside and start absolutely shredding up in a good way.
Yeah.
But so with the turning point, I think it's something that stands out, like, well, what goes on there?
So it was like so I got stabbed at Goulburn 9 times in the back. So from a gang called White Supremacy. I'd had dramas with these people before, but like it was always the case that, you know, they were never together in a group like that. And, you know, I'd offer them out and like whatever, and you know, put them on the shit cunts and that, and fucking Anyway, I was at Silverwater and.
When you say, sorry to jump, I might sound dumb as white supremacy, is that mate, I actually don't understand. So like they're against white or they're for white?
No, they're for white.
They're for white. Yeah. And then they go against you?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
So they, the screws told me before I went there, they said, fucking, you keep fucking around, we're going to send you to Goulburn. I said, fucking send me. You know what I mean? Like that's the problem with me. Anytime I get threatened, I'm just like, fucking let's go, bro. Like,
Okay.
So then they're like, next day I'm on the truck to Goulburn. Got to Goulburn, they're like, oh, which yard do you want to go in? I said, oh, this one, you know? And that's the one they told me, oh, you're going to get stabbed. I was like, oh, we'll fucking see.
Yeah.
So I went in, you know, I still had that chip on my shoulder, still very proud, and I just thought, oh yeah, we'll see.
Yeah.
It's my fucking yard, right?
Yeah.
And then so I walked in there, and they're the first 3 people I walked up to. I was like, hey boys, big smirk on my face because I'm like heaps cocky and shit. I was heaps cocky, you know. I was like, what are you doing, boys? Like,
Yeah.
thinking, fuck, these cunts will be burning that I'm here, you know.
Yeah.
And they were like, give me the knuckles, you know. They're like mumbling and shit. I'm like, yeah, sweet, you know. A few boys actually told me that day, probably 5-6 times I got told. They're like, oh, bro, watch out for them, bro. They've been saying shit and that. I was like, oh, yeah, sweet. So I went in, when the showers were open, there's no cameras in that.
Yeah.
And that's where people usually get got. So I went and actually sat in there. I was like, oh, if they want to come, I'll go sit in the shower. Went and sat in there until the screws come in and told me to get out.
Yeah.
Went over to buy-ups and shit. Boys like, bro, you should talk to them. I said, nah, fuck them, bro. They're gronks. And then, went back, did a few laps. I'd actually burnt my foot the night before at Silverwater with hot water. So when I went to the clinic to get dressing or whatever,
Yeah.
when I went, they'd gone and pulled out these big blades. So they were like probably an inch thick and like, you know, good 6 inches long each.
Yeah.
They had 3 of them. So they pulled them out on people that like they thought would have my back.
Yeah. Okay.
Which should have had my back, you know. People even tried to give me blades that day, and I was like, nah, bro, I'm right. I never carried blades in there, you know.
Yeah.
If I ever needed one, like I could always get one or make one or, you know, but I always thought it was like anyone who carried them, I thought they were sus.
Yeah.
I was like, bro, why are you always carrying that? Like, why, you know, like you've got something to hide or you're
stressing
scared something's going to come out. Like,
Yeah.
yeah, so I always had that for it, you know, and I always had, because my dad was tough, I was always like, fucking, you know, you got to be a man. So anyway, they'd pull them on. Then when I got back, I actually walked up to one of the boys and he's like, he was actually going to have a shot in the phone box.
Some drugs.
Or near bupe and that.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I thought that's why he was ignoring me. I was like, oh, you're right, bro. And I thought, oh, fuck this, I'm going to ring my ex, right? So I went and jumped on the phone. I was in the phone box. So
No better feeling than having a chat to your ex and just call the ex. Yeah. Anyway, yeah.
Well, I went to jump on the phone to her and someone's come back from visit. They've got a drop. They've given all these 3 guys and they're on the Zennies and the ice. Like mix, you know.
So they're just charged
fucking,
up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know what's going on. I'm like, go to ring it. The phone's ringing. And I just felt like 2 taps on that side and 1 tap on that side. And I was like, fuck. I knew straight. I'd never been stabbed, but I just knew, you know. And I just turned that way and I seen both of them tried to run into the same spot and they fell over each other.
Yeah.
So they were on the ground, right? And I probably would have jumped on them, but I knew there was someone else. And I've turned that way and no one was there. And I was like, fuck, you know. So I just had my back to the wall the whole time. I was just like, bang, looking around. These 2 are coming at me like fucking Mohicans, like like this, you know.
Yeah.
And I was like, shit, you know. I knew if I faced them, but as long as I faced them, I knew they were all, you know, too scared to engage front on.
Yeah.
So I just like kept feigning at them and stepping to them, and you know, ended up hitting one of them. That's when they got me again in the back. Like, yeah, got me a few more times in the back. I got back to the gate, so I had the gate behind me, and I just seen all this fucking smoke come over me, like the spray.
Yeah.
The pepper spray and whatever. And I'm like, shit, you know? Like, as soon as I seen it, I thought, fuck, I'm not going to breathe. So I've gone down, tried to get under it, and I just kept watching their feet. And I've seen their feet come in again, like, try to run in and get me while I was on the ground, you know? So I've just quickly jumped up, feinted a kick at them, and they've jumped back. The squad's run in, they've opened the gate and shit. As soon as I heard the gate open, I jumped up. They're like, stay there. The nurse is coming. I was like, no fucking way. Because I've seen heaps of people come out of the yard or get wheeled out in a wheelchair. They'll put you in a wheelchair and, you know, sitting there like that. They're all pushing you and shit. I was like, no fucking way. So I just fucking walked, you know. And I always remember the squad looking at me because he was just like, he sort of jumped back and I was like, fuck, I must be pretty like fucked up, you know.
Yeah.
So I couldn't see myself and because it was all in the back of me, like I could see all red down here, but I didn't realise how much blood there was. Like my whole shirt was just red, you know.
Yeah.
And because I ducked down, all the blood had come, you know, from my head. It had gone on my face and my neck and like all over my body, you know. I got stabbed 3 times in the back of the head, twice in the back of that shoulder, once in the back of that shoulder.
Is this all in this
And in
this
the back,
time?
yeah. And one hit my spine, but it didn't go right through. Yeah. And I had a punctured lung. Yeah, I remember the squad, he just looked at me like I was a ghost, you know.
Yeah.
And I was like, fuck this. So I just walked out. And I walked like sort of like nothing was wrong with me, you know. Like I didn't know that I was fucking red, you know. I was just looking at the yard.
Bro, how are you standing up after being stabbed 9 times? That's
I think
pretty
just
crazy,
the adrenaline,
isn't it?
yeah.
Yeah.
And in my head, I was always super confident. I was just like, fuck, these guys can't kill me, you know. Like, yeah, that's what was in my head. I'm like, I'm gonna fucking kill you, dogs.
But
like,
you're kind of walking out like, oh, me back's fucked.
yeah, I couldn't feel it. I couldn't feel anything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fuck,
I just had
man.
like revenge, and I was just looking in the yard like fuck yeah, and boys are yelling out, "You right, Pat?" I said, "Yeah, I'm sweet, brother. No effect, you know." And then
hooligan hefts, no effects. But you're
Yeah.
but you probably did you almost die or like what's the go?
No,
there?
so I had a punctured lung. I thought that I did. So I went to the clinic and they were like, "Oh, you're all right, you know, they're cutting my clothes off and shit." I'm like, "Yeah, I'm sweet, you know."
Yeah.
Because I still couldn't feel anything. The adrenaline was just racing. I was thinking, fuck, it started getting to me like, am I like, you know, how bad am I? And then she goes, "You're all right, you're turning white," which really freaked me out, you know. As soon as she said that, I was like, well, fuck, what do you mean I'm turning white? Why would you say that to me, you know? Like that freaked me out. And then I remember the ambulance got there, they gave me, they're about to give me ketamine. The squad started searching me like as if I was doing some magic escape or something.
Yeah.
Like full like proper search, you know, patting me down and like feeling
When you
around.
say
I'm
the
like,
squad as well, the squad's like the fucking 6'10" blokes.
yeah,
that
with
are-
the vests on and
yeah, that are gonna wreck you kind of
Yeah.
thing. Yeah, okay.
So they're like fucking feeling me. I've only got undies on, I think, or they even chopped them off and they put something over me.
Yeah.
Yeah, but they got fucking they give me the ketamine.
Yeah.
So I don't know if it was for pain or what, just to send me out of it. But yeah, it sent me into another realm. Like I was just like, fuck, I was feeling so good. Got to the
It does make you feel a little bit good,
yeah.
doesn't it? I've had it before.
Yeah. Well, they've I got to Goulburn Hospital
Yeah.
and I remember saying, "Oh, I need more stuff, you know." And then I could remember that they hit me in the shoulder and they're going, "Where does it hurt?" And I'm like, "Oh, the shoulder, you know."
What? So you're just trying to
Yeah.
get high as fuck off
Yeah.
this ketamine?
And I
yeah.
hear I can hear the cop there. He's going, "Wait 1 second, we want to talk to him." I thought later on, fuck, how dodgy was that? Like you knew I was under the influence, you know.
Yeah.
But it was just like my natural instinct kicked in anyway. And they must try to get people like that.
Yeah.
So I've looked over and there's a lady with the camera and he's there with his book and he goes, "Oh, do you know Rara and Rara?" They just said 2 names, you know, because one of the guys ran straight away and they didn't know, but they knew who the other 2 were because they were like screaming
Yeah.
in front of the screws and that. And I said, "Yeah, they're my good mates." Big smile on my face. And they've gone, I remember the cop turned to the other cop and he's like, "Don't worry, let's go," you know, and took off. And then they give me the ketamine and I was like, they put me on a helicopter because they didn't have the scanner at Goulburn to check where it actually went in and that. And I remember the helicopter, like the noise was like chick, 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 chick. And every time that noise went, like it was like I was in because I'm Buddhist,
Yeah.
I thought I was going to be reborn. And I
Okay.
thought I was going through these channels and my thought would change every time it would go chick, chick. So my thoughts were changing real quick, like, you know,
Yeah.
but I still had this like overthought where I was like sort of looking down at these wires or something I was going through.
So like, was it an out of body experience, you reckon, or you?
I was still sort of, it's like I wasn't really looking at myself,
Yeah.
but I was looking at these wires and I sort of had 2 thought processes going on at once, you know?
Yeah.
Like I just had that overthought, but I still had like, yeah, just these little thoughts that I couldn't hold on to. And then they change every half second, you know, like chick, chick, chick.
Yeah.
And then I'm like, I didn't know I was on a helicopter. And then I thought I was going to come out of a new woman, you know, a new mum.
Yeah.
And that was going to be the light.
Well, that was your trip.
Yeah. So that's when I thought, fuck, I actually, you know.
Well,
I
so
thought
your
I'm gonna
whole
lose
new
my old
life is.
Yeah.
So you're seeing this happen. You know what? People might be watching, going, "Oh yeah, fucking this guy's off
Yeah.
his head." But it's like, I've had LSD before. Won't try it again.
Yeah.
But like, it's and you can remember every story from a trip, like it's like
Oh, yeah.
fucking yesterday.
It's so enhanced, yeah.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
so you've like kind of had a trip that
And
you're
because of
being
my
reborn.
beliefs, yeah. Because of I believe in reincarnation, I'm thinking, oh my God, this is what's going to happen.
So you were born again at how old? How old were you at that point?
2017, so 34, 35.
Fuck, man. And it's a big turn.
34,
It
yeah.
is this whole thing leads into
Yeah.
you becoming
Yeah.
like you're like this gangster fucking putting holes in people, you're saying to them.
Now I paint unicorns. Like, yeah.
I wish you actually, like, editors, if you can put one of his paintings up on the
put 'em up,
up on the screen, it'd be fucking amazing, man.
Yeah.
Like, I seen you the other night. How the fuck? Let's just tap into this. How the fuck were you on TikTok Live, Australia and New Zealand's main account? You were live on their account, weren't you?
Oh, so I'm on their creator program now.
Yeah, so
They put me on there.
I'm pretty close with TikTok, but
Yeah.
I see Nathan Paddison on the fucking TikTok,
Yeah.
like their actual account, like you're on there, like ex-criminal, gangster, putting holes in people, coming out of new fucking lives at 34, just painting on his garage, right? That's pretty cool. That's not a small thing. Like you are on TikTok Australia, New Zealand's main TikTok account, doing your paintings.
Yeah, and it's funny because the only reason I got on there is because some dude tried to spam report my account.
Yeah.
And sort of got my account. I kept getting it back, got it back like 6 or 7 times.
Yeah.
And then it got blocked. So I got in contact with Danny Shannon, said he knew someone.
Okay. You don't need to say the TikTok manager's name, but does she start with J?
Nah.
Oh, okay.
Nah.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, but he got me in contact with someone. I messaged, she said, oh, have a look. Then she's gone on, unblocked my account, got rid of all the things, and then asked me to be on the creator program. I was like, oh, how funny is that? This dude's whoever's just spam reported me is going to be burned. And now I'm going to be on TikTok's page.
Yeah, you took over their page.
Yeah.
Like, I followed you before because I've seen your stories like, hey, TikTokers, that's what you do. I like your videos. But I'm scrolling and I'm like, the fuck is he doing on the TikTok's account? Like painting. I can't remember. What were you painting? Do you remember?
I think King of Hearts.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
I think I think as a creative myself, I'm definitely not an artist. Like I'm probably an artist in some other ways, but like your art, bro, like I fucking like it. Like I'm not saying that just because you're here. It's very unique. It stands out. We're going to link all your stuff down below and people can check it out as well. But man, you're fucking onto something, eh?
Yeah.
Like was the artist born from when you come out of the woman?
Yeah, it was
That's what you said, mate.
It's like it wasn't the stabbing that did it. It was the ketamine.
Yeah.
That really put me on. Like, I was like, you know what? Like, fuck, man. Like, people ask me like, what was that thing that changed me? And it's just like the only way to describe it is like life.
Yeah.
You know, like I wanted life. Like I wanted all that good shit in life.
Yeah.
You know, and I like fuck. I just wanted. I was sick of this shit. You know.
Yeah.
And I just wanted life, and like that ketamine really brought that out of me. Like it really just, you know, I knew there was so much better to life. You know, and since then I had another daughter, a baby, and actually got to be in her life. I've been in her life, so like that just stepped me up again, you know. And it like really like it's like it linked me to fucking life. It's so hard to explain.
Yeah.
But good energy, you know, like good karma and all the good shit, you know. And I just want to spread that. And like my paintings were doing that, you know. And I was getting so many messages off people and teachers at schools were using me as subjects, and you know, like so many kids are painting my stuff, and even adults painting my stuff and telling me, oh, when they see my work, like it's like it jumps off the canvas, you know, it gives them good energy, and I do, you know, when I paint, it's always like it's got to have good energy in it.
Yeah.
Like if it's flat or I don't feel it, I'll just paint over it and start again. Like I need someone to look at it and just like fucking, you know, just want life, you know, like just jump off the canvas for them. But yeah, that was the only way to explain it. And when I first started, it was weird. So I got back to Silverwater.
I got to jump in there, mate. It was you got a little bit emotional there, bro. That was fucking cool to see how much passion you actually had about what you've done, and congratulations as well for like doing this whole transition in like that. I couldn't have. Like, I bet you were you a bit of an asshole back in the day? Like you were. Yeah. You were like just had a big chip on your shoulder and stuff like that. And then to hear a grown man, you know, you got to be emotional about your kids and your transition. It's like, mate, like life is a fucking beautiful place. Even like slowing down. And this is why I do this podcast. Slow down, fucking push a good message. If people are dealing with mental health and stuff like that, go down to the beach, listen to the birds, the fucking waves coming in and stuff like that. And it was cool to just see you get emotional about that whole thing, man. That was fucking awesome.
Thanks, bro. Yeah, it's just like people. That's why I moved away from everyone too.
Yeah,
like you can't be around negative people.
Yeah,
and have good energy yourself. You know, like when you have good energy and you put it out there in the universe, like you just attract these people like a magnet. It's just like so many good people have come into my life now, and with good energy and shit, and you just attract them. Like, you know, it's just like you got to become that person. If you want to be that happy person, then you know you got to set an example for yourself and be that happy person and find stuff that makes you happy and continue, like, you know, follow them things, you know. Don't be negative. Don't worry about what other people are doing, and
don't be putting holes in cars.
Yeah, don't be putting holes in people, you know. Like, I've got nothing to say about like ex-offenders and that, you know. Like,
yeah. Okay.
But like I'll never care what happens with them. But anyone else, like,
yeah.
Like,
life's a good thing, man.
Like, you could throw your whole life away from just doing that to impress the boys, or you feel a little bit upset at the time. Like,
yeah. It's fucking, as we were talking about earlier, there's so much going on in the world that needs to be corrected. We could talk for so long about, like, even like my friend that's a girl, she was explaining to me the other day, I was training and she was explaining, she's like, you know, sometimes, like, when I'm leaving work and walking down the street, like, I don't want guys calling out to me, you know. I don't want, like, but she's scared to say something to him, I'm like, fuck, you can't. This world that we live in, man, and unless we're trying to change it for the better, fuck, bro, we're fucked.
She needs to get a man voice.
She needs to just get a, it's like, nah, like, just tell them, like,
when they
step
whistle
up.
and go, thanks,
yeah.
mate.
Thanks. Hi, boys. Like in Thailand, hi, boy. Nah, fucking lady boys. So you were Silverwater, you said something about going back to Silverwater.
Yeah. So I went back to Silverwater. When I was in the hospital, my mum actually brought me some pencils and paper.
Yeah.
And I used to draw when I was little, and sometimes I liked it. And so I got back into drawing because, like, I couldn't train and shit. The only thing I could train was legs.
Yeah.
And the day I got back from being stabbed, I actually stood in the next yard. They wouldn't put me back in that yard, and I went straight up to the fence and did legs and just looked at them. I just wanted to know I wasn't broken, you know?
Yeah. Oh, you went back and seen those guys that stabbed you?
No, well, they were in Segro.
Oh, okay.
But I knew they had friends in the yard, you know?
Okay, yeah,
I wanted them to know that. And I still sort of had that chip on my shoulder, you know? But, I got back to Silverwater, had court. They've taken my pencils. I got to the wing, had a phone, had a, you know, few balloons like ice and bupe and cigarettes and all that shit, you know?
Wait, I've lost you here. Why you got all this shit?
I just had, just drops, you know, getting visits and drops.
Okay. So were you on the drugs throughout your job? Like, you were
most of it, yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Like, art sort of changed that. So, I seen one of the boys in the wing. He was painting murals in the wing for the officers and for the jail and that.
Yeah.
I said, oh, bro, can I get some of that? And at first he didn't want to give it to me. He's like, oh, please, bro, don't get caught with it, you know, like.
Yeah.
I was like, bro, he goes, don't let them see it because they might not let me paint the wing and shit. Well, I ended up painting the notice board in the cell, like, straight on the wall. I was like, oh, fuck this, I'm painting this, bro. Like, yeah. But I remember my favourite colour was always green, you know?
Yeah.
So I put the green paint. I was like, fuck, I didn't know how to use a paintbrush. So I was like, I'm just going to do dots like the Kuris do, you know?
The Aboriginal dot painting, yeah.
And I've actually got a photo of this because I had the phone uploaded to my Google Photos.
Yeah.
And I did a Viking on the wall. A Viking, a scarecrow, a skull, and something else. But I've got the picture.
Yeah.
I can send it to you.
Yeah, we'll try and chuck it up, yeah.
They're pretty crappy paintings, right? They're just like dots, like, but it was just the colour, because I'd just been using pencils and shit, but the colour of the paint just sucked me in, and it was so weird. It was like it linked to that ketamine experience that I was still holding on to, you know? Like, I still had that in the back of my mind, like, fuck, what was that, you know? Like, that was crazy. I didn't really talk to anybody about it.
Yeah.
So it just stayed with me. But when I did that, it's like it linked, and it was like, fuck, there's something here, you know? Like, there's something in this paint that's connected to me, like just expressing myself in a positive way. And whereas I used to do it with fighting and shit like that, you know, and showing off, being a show pony and shit, you know, like. But it's like it transformed, you know, and art, you know, it can have such a good energy to it, you know. And so I started to learn to paint, after a couple of dot ones, I did like some line work and shit, and just kept trying different things and trying to do things. I went to other jails, and you can actually buy them on activities, paints and stuff.
Okay, yeah.
I paid someone in Bupe to go get so Bupe's like a
the methadone.
Yeah, it's like in a strip.
So you're flipping methadone for paint, yeah?
Yeah, so I got someone to steal it all from the Edjo place because they'd shut down the art classes. I was like, bro, get it all for me, bro. I'll pay for it,
Yeah.
So he got me all that. And I just kept trying different things. I'd ask every jail I went to, I'd put in forms and be like, oh, can I get some art stuff, send in some information, some paperwork, try and do a course, like I'll pay for it.
Yeah.
They all said no. No. Like
Were you still on drugs at this point?
Like I was sort of on the Bupe and ice and shit, but probably 6 months later was the last time I had ice.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. That's awesome. So you're still kind of dabbling in drugs, and then also
I still was in that
testing
addiction.
out this painting thing, and then would you say the painting thing's like taken over everything?
Yeah. Like my love for painting and like it made me not care about the drugs. Made me not care. I was like, fuck, I don't want to bring in drugs and get caught and get extra time. And, like I don't care if I sit at home on fucking, with nothing. As long as I'm out and I can afford to paint, like I didn't care, I was like, fuck, I don't care if I'm in a fucking studio apartment, just like barely getting by with rent and eating Devon sandwiches.
Yeah.
As long as I can paint and I'm out there for my family, like that's all I cared about,
That's awesome, man.
I was like, fuck, I'll work at McDonald's if I have to. But yeah, I was like, and I wasn't really telling people, but I knew people were like, people would be whispering behind my back and shit like, fuck, look at Paddo, bro, he's painting now.
What, were they going like, oh, they're fucking shit painting? Like, is he going to get any better or what? Yeah. Like, what the fuck is that?
Like some of them back then,
like you're on the eye, bro. You're like fucking dot painted. It probably look like trash, eh? Or I want to try and get that photo of what you're saying on the wall because I'll be honest. I'll be like, bro, that was trash, or maybe it was good. You're doing really good now, but like, and even seeing that live the other night, bro. When you're painting, you're fucking on, bro. Like, the live's going, and you don't even give a fuck about it. Like, you're just like, a bit of fucking. And I was like, what's he doing here? And then like it starts coming together, and it's like, but that looks sick. Like what you just done.
It's hard to explain,
Yeah, like the colour, you just tried to you'd done this colour and then you chucked it in the middle, and I was like, oh, you just fucked that up. And then it's like, oh yeah, sweet, that looks sick.
And sometimes just the direction of things, and I sort of just do it all with my eye. Like I don't do drafts or everything.
So have you done any lessons or was it just the jail time and you just trying to learn?
Yeah, I got out and told people, oh, can someone teach me how to paint? Or I thought I want to learn. Like I want to be good. Then everyone told me, they're like, don't do it. You'll just paint like everyone else. And they said, you got your own unique style. Just stay true to you. And even then, I was still like, I'm so glad they said that. But I was still trying to paint good, like what other people would think was good and stuff. So I was like, fuck, I got to do this good. Or what were they like? What were people like? And I was even searching shit like, what color do people like? What color paintings do people like buying?
Yeah.
And then I started doing, I was still like half doing what I wanted to do, but half doing what other people wanted. But then after a while, I think when I found out I was going to have a baby, I think I did this I went back to a book I had in jail. I used to write down ideas in it, and I just opened this page and it flipped to this thing, and it was like Queen of Hearts had the pink tiger and shit like that, just like that was some of my first ones that really took off and really just started getting me galleries and shit. It was just like a couple of paintings, and I just thought it was hard to put up because it was like a kid done them, and I held the pencil like loose, and I wanted it to look like a kid done it because like at the end, like I'm a kid, and when I paint, I feel like a kid, Yeah. And I was sick of painting this other shit that people liked, and whenever I'd see a kid's drawing or my daughter's drawing, I'd look and I fucking love it. It's so interesting. It's so it's got so much more character. So I was like, fuck, I'm just gonna do it like that.
Yeah.
And she was into unicorns at the time. My mum had horses and shit. I was like, I can imagine a crackhead tried to sell a unicorn. Like a horse as a unicorn, just strapped a horn on and shit,
Wait, a horse? What?
Yeah,
Go
like
again.
a crackhead trying to sell a horse, but as a unicorn.
Yeah,
so they've strapped a horn on and think they're going to get away with it, So That's where the unicorn came from with me.
Yeah.
And that's why it's got a strap on its head and the
Okay.
horn and that, yeah.
Yeah.
And it's like for sale, you know, $999 million. And
Yeah. Bro, you do some, it's very unique,
yeah.
Like some
There's
of
a
the
lot of
stuff.
humor in it. There's some like they got glowing like penises and shit
Yeah.
like that on them. So when they turn their lights off, there's dick on their wall. Like, yeah.
I didn't know that, bro. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
That's the funniest thing.
Yeah.
Do they know that before they buy it?
Nah. Yeah. I feel like that kid at school that draws in the toilets, you know, and draws a dick and laughs and runs out of the toilet, you know.
What the fuck?
Yeah.
That's so
I
funny.
feel like it would defeat the purpose if I told them, you know.
Bro, boss, so people
Yeah.
are paying. We'll get into the payment. I want to ask you, what was it? It was fuck. Okay, go on to how like so you're in galleries.
Yeah.
Like where? Like just in Australia or?
Nah, so shit, all over the world, like Spain, Germany, Austria, Korea, Taiwan, America, Australia.
On every continent,
On every continent, yeah. South Africa, Johannesburg,
Yeah.
not Antarctica, yeah, just not Antarctica.
Maybe start the first art gallery on Antarctica and you'll blow up.
For the what are they called? Them wall people, the ice wall.
Oh yeah, the fucking the ice wall
I'll
down
pin
there.
them to the ice wall, yeah.
Fuck man, I keep losing the question I want to ask you. 1 second, come on. Okay, so this question when it pops into my head again, mate, it's coming straight out. I'm going to cut you off, all right? So you're all around the world in art galleries.
Yeah.
And then what kind of how much are these selling for?
Oh, so like I do some like where I'll do prints and smaller
I'm jumping
works.
in. Where did you see the first blow up? Like where was the
Korea.
traction?
So the unicorn,
Yeah.
and a Queen of Hearts. So this dude seen it, contacted me. He's like, "Oh mate, have you got more like this?" I was like, "Oh no, I can do them."
Yeah.
He goes, "Oh, send them to him." He bought them straight off me.
Okay.
I didn't have to send them to him for him to sell. He paid me straight up. He's
Where
like,
did he find
on
you?
Instagram.
So you started an Instagram.
Yeah.
You had a website with your paintings in it.
I had I do have a website, but it's like it hasn't been updated for years.
Yeah.
But I just used Instagram. Pretty much got me with everywhere. Instagram's like for artists, it's the best tool.
Yeah.
To get with galleries and stuff like that. And I'd contacted thousands of galleries before that and did not get a reply.
Yeah.
And then I sort of thought, oh, maybe they don't. You know, if you're contacting galleries, it's because you're not selling. You know.
Yeah, that's a
and
good
they
point.
sort of want to find you.
Yeah.
So I'd tag different locations, hoping it would go to them locations.
Yeah.
And I just Googled like the place that spends the most on art. Where you know, like
Where is that?
like Taiwan and Korea and stuff.
Okay, so they love
Yeah,
art.
they love art. Yeah,
And they love
they've
your
sort
art?
of become the center. Yeah, they're my two biggest markets, Taiwan and Korea. Yeah.
That's fucking
But this gallery I got with, I didn't know, but he'd actually got a lot of artists and made them like famous. So as soon as I got with him, a lot of galleries watched him and they all started contacting me. You know.
Okay, so
Yeah.
so one guy that was a part of a gallery
Yeah.
kind of put you on, and then it's like, then where do you kind of work out where this price like how much are these, and then where does the price come from?
So now I just do it like mathematics. So it's like I do the height times width divided by 3.3, and it's like it works out about 3,000 US a square meter.
Okay.
And it goes up. So every time I start selling a bit too much, or if I'm selling a lot, you know, and I sort of can't keep up, or I'm struggling to keep up, then I just put the price up.
Okay.
Someone told me that a long time ago. I do have people often tell me, bro, you should be selling these for twice as much. But then I know in some other countries, I'm not quite there yet, and I want to be, you know, I want all the countries to go with me.
Yeah, gotcha.
So I sort of keep the prices down here when they want more, and you know, just so these guys can catch up. And
yeah,
because I wanted to be everywhere. You know, I wanted to be on every country.
So like one of those, like how big are these pieces? Like these?
So some of them are like 2 meters by 2 meters. You know,
and then
like
what's
this
that
wall.
sell for? What are we?
So the most I've sold a painting for is 54,000, but average like 8 to 10 grand Aussie. Yeah.
50? Who the fuck? What was this? 54,000 for
It was like a big painting. It was like 2 meters by 3 meters.
yeah.
They sold 3 of them, same price, in one day at an art fair in Taiwan. Yeah.
Wow.
So 54 3 times.
What'd you do
Yeah.
when you found out that you sold something like? Were you like, what the fuck?
I was like, yeah, fucking oath, like mad, you know. Like I was cheering, I was jumping up and down. I would have ran and told my missus, and yeah. So what about this? Like, yeah.
You fuck called my painting.
Yeah,
Is she
one of them had a big
supportive?
dick
Or
on
she,
it too. Yeah, yeah.
well, a big glow in the dark cock.
Yeah. So when the light goes off, it's about 2 meters long. Yeah.
What? And this guy knew that he was going.
Nah, because it was at an art fair. The lights are on. You can't see it. Yeah.
There's no way, bro. What happens when he gets home and he turns the light off?
I don't. Yeah,
He would have been loving
send
it.
it back. I don't know. He's either gonna laugh or think. Yeah. But you know what? People that like my art, I think they have to have a sense of humor and they have to have good energy.
Yeah.
Because like that's what my art is. When you look at my art, you know, it's got a bit of humor in it and it's got good energy in it. It's bright and it's colourful and
Yeah.
you know, some stuck up dude that's gonna stick his nose up at that. He's not gonna buy my art anyway.
Yeah. I think they're small-minded. Those
Yeah.
people would be small-minded.
Yeah.
Seeing like you do your art, like
Yeah.
seeing that live stream, then seeing what comes out of it, it's like, mate, that's you. That's what goes on. I don't know where these prices come from, but
Yeah.
if it's selling, it's selling.
They started low.
Yeah.
And then I just kept putting them up, you know, 10% at a time.
So what's like we'll kind of finish like real soon.
Yeah.
What is next for you? Like where do you see this going? Like
Yeah, I don't know. Like I'm sort of in galleries everywhere around the world. I want to do some new stuff, but I want to start making like prints and like I love fashion, you know. I love clothes and fashion and shit.
Yeah.
Like I want to get into a little bit into fashion, like with my paintings and stuff like that on shirts and stuff like that. You know, and I think it all helps, like promote my art too.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe do some sculptures. I've always done, because I do I do the fake unicorn, I do the fake Louis Vuitton, fake Gucci, like all that shit.
Yeah.
And I call it fake, like real fake. This, you know.
Yeah.
I do like I'll buy like statues and I'll paint them, and then people think they'll say, "Oh, is that a sculpture?" I'll be like, "Yeah, it's a real fake sculpture." Like, and I just paint them. But it's
So
like
do you do
it's
like
just like a
LV?
3D canvas to me.
Okay. Do you do like LV, like fake LV ones and shit?
Yeah,
Or?
I'll call them Vuitton Luton. Like,
Vuitton.
yeah. But it says real fake on it, like real fake Vuitton Luton.
And what about Gucci? What do you call that one?
Like Gucci, yeah.
Gucci. Any other? What's Burberry?
Burberry. Or I've done it with a bear on it, so it says like Burberry. Yeah. Because I mix up a lot of the words, you know?
Yeah. And they can't, no repercussions. It's just, you creating.
Because it's, so there's a thing for artists where you can use brands.
Yeah.
It's not copyright. It's only if you defame them, then they can do something about it. But if you don't defame them, then it's all allowed, yeah.
Yeah, that's awesome, man. So any big things that you can see, like where's the dream? Like where's that?
I'll be the most famous artist like Australia's ever had, yeah. Even the world, yeah.
Yeah.
You
still got that chip on your shot? No. I
was always like, when I first started, I was like you always got to go for the best, you know. Like I always looked at it like everyone's like, oh, look at a star in the sky, you know, the furthest star, and you want to get there. But I always thought, you know, I want to get there so I can see the next furthest star, you know.
Bro, that's fucking
like that's just
exciting,
step,
isn't it?
Yeah.
Because you see that vision and like even you sitting here talking that into reality, like maybe 10 years down the track, we are watching this podcast back and you were the most famous. Mate, Vincent Van Gogh, bro, come on.
Yeah.
Like that
or
painting,
Picasso,
you got to get, what about Vincent Van Gogh's painting with the, that really famous one?
The Starry Nights.
Bro.
Yeah.
Like, if
really
you can
good
create
painter,
something like that, did he chop his ear off too?
Yeah.
Or was that chopperee?
Chopper, both. Yeah.
Really? So maybe just chop an ear off?
Maybe I could paint them together. I was just painting Chopper at home.
Bro, Chopper's sick, eh?
Yeah.
He was a loose cannon.
Yeah.
Fuck.
Yeah.
Man, get a painting of me, bro. Can I get a painting?
Yeah.
I'll pay for it,
I was actually going to bring you one.
Bullshit.
But then I was like, I don't know what's in the place and that. I don't know what he likes. So I'll just ask him when I get up there.
Mate, if you do a PROJECT23 one.
Yeah, sweet.
We'll have it here fucking every episode because we're starting to, this shit's fucking a bit different.
Yeah,
like this is not a studio that I'll be in, but it's running right. Anything else you want to address to the cameraman before you go or you?
Nah, just be true to yourself, people. Like, I live so long trying to impress other people or thinking that you're someone you're not, but like get away from people. If you have to get away from people, get away from them. If they've got bad energy, get away from them, because as soon as you have all that good energy and you attract all them good people, like you really start to understand life, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mate, that's a good message. Guys, that is Project23 with Nathan Paddison. All your links will be down below. If you want to go and check out a painting or whatever, Instagram, do they find that? Where's the best place to go?
So Instagram would be the best place for my art.
Yeah.
Nathan Paddison Art.
Yeah.
You'll spell it anyway. Yeah. And then just my YouTube and TikTok's got my social.
Awesome.
It's got all weird stuff on it, yeah.
They'll be all down below, guys. They'll be all down below. See you guys next episode. Peace.
Thank you.
Thanks, brother.
Legend, bro.